Okay, why don't we get started, Felicia? And then, as people come in, just make sure if anyone misses anything, they can go into the chat to ask those questions. I'll remind them of that. But to everyone out there today, so thank you so much for joining us. It's great to see you here today. We love your participation, and we really look forward to this hour that we have together now. One of the things we always, if you haven't joined us before, one of the things we love to do here is we love to have participation and an interactive experience with you. So for all of you, you can see where the chat box is down at the bottom, and a lot of you are using it, so fantastic. Everyone's familiar with Zoom here, I assume. We're gonna be asking questions throughout the session. Please put your answers into the chat box or in the Q&A, but chat box is where we'll look for the first answers. And this is more for you to just have fun, listen for questions, show us how quick you are in answering those questions, and let's have a good time together. And don't hesitate to ask anything. We'll be answering your questions throughout the day. Okay. What we will give to really good questions and first responders, as we say, will be $50 gift cards, mostly Amazon vouchers. But if you're in a country that isn't Amazon friendly, we'll give you the voucher of equivalent value for that country. All right. So be ready. Pay attention, ask questions, and participate. This is the key point for today. All right. What we're going to do over the next hour is basically broken down into two sections. Okay. The first section, we're going to highlight the latest in VDI and EUC solutions, and also some recent announcements from the partnership between Nutanix and Citrix. All right. We've been partners for a long time, but we're really starting to tie together this partnership. And recently we've made some announcements that tighten that relationship even further. For you, all of you that are Citrix users out there today, are you familiar with the Nutanix platform, or vice versa? We hope to make that familiarity to you over this next half hour, and also a place where you can ask questions and learn more about parts that you may not be aware of. Okay, so look for that. The second part of this section is we're going to take a tour in Kyoto. So obviously we've all
recording in progress.
There we go. We're recording now. Obviously, we've been in some countries locked at home for quite a while, but we've all gotten used to this really interesting way of taking tours and visiting places around the world. And we're going to take a virtual tour in Kyoto today. And we've got a great tour guide out there with us, Ken Sakata. Ken, you out there now? Say hello to the audience. I can see you. There he is. Oh, there's Gotham. Ken is coming. Let's see if we got Ken.
He's there. I can see him. He's moving.
I can see you, Ken. You got to say hello. We can't leave without you. There he is.
He's on mute.
On mute. Okay, that's good enough. It's a nice sunny day out in the tea farm in Kyoto. So good to see you, Ken. Okay. We'll get back to Ken in about 20 minutes after we finish section one, and he'll take us through the tea gardens and some real memorable experiences in Kyoto. Okay, but let's start with a couple of things now. So to the subject of at hand today, when we talk about end user computing, this past year and a half has been an experience that none of us have ever had before, and it's grown this industry and VDI deployments measurably around the world. So the latest statistics we see is almost 87% growth in VDI deployments since 2020. So over the last year and a half, 87%, almost doubling the deployments of VDI around the world. It's crazy growth, and all of us have experienced the challenges and the opportunities to do things differently, right? So what we want to ultimately do is say, okay, well, what were those challenges, and how did we address those challenges? And how do we, now that we've done the urgent stuff and started to look at maybe the longer term, how do we start to make our infrastructures and our solutions to better serve our companies, right? And that's what we're all here to talk about today. So I'm going to do a couple of things. I'm going to start with a quick polling question just to see sort of where you guys are. Felicia, if you can put that polling question up on the screen. The question is going to be, what is your biggest challenge for EUC or VDI? Okay. So go ahead and see if you can answer that, and we'll see what the results are real time as you start answering. Quickly spinning up your virtual apps and desktops, complexity and cost, unpredictable availability and security, or lack of staff to deploy and manage. So go ahead and answer that, and then let's see what the results tell us is of most interest.
While the results are coming in, Mike, who have we got presenting today?
Good question. Thank you for the slide up front. Okay, guys. So obviously,
me, by the way, I'm one of them.
We all know who's asking the question is the person who's going to be the answer to the question. Okay, let me do that, and then we'll get to the poll results. Keep those up for a second, Felicia, so everyone can see. So, okay, so everyone, we've got Cameron Ogilvie. Many of you may be familiar with Cam from our Nutanix side. He runs our channel SEs across APJ. And he's intimately familiar with all of these solutions, and he's going to take us through sort of the Nutanix side of it. And we've also got Gautam Prakash from Citrix, who is the lead solution architect across APJ from the Citrix side. And so together, we'll have a conversation. We'll talk a little bit about the solutions from the Citrix side and the Nutanix side, how they're combined together, and then ask the questions of areas of interest for you. At the end of the day, we're always striving for really three things. They're buzzwords, they're typical stuff in IT, but how do we get that agility? How do we really get that agility to move a workload where we need it, when we need it, spin it up fast, move it across fast, right? That's our core focus. Doing that at the best cost or total cost of ownership, so you get those benefits as well from your investments. And then finally, having your choice. So if you want to take that on-prem, fine. You want to go off-prem, fine. You want to go to one cloud or another cloud in the public domain, no problem. Let's move it where it needs to be moved, and let's do it as efficiently as possible. So those are the things we're going to talk about today. Like I said, we got about 20 minutes, so put your questions in the chat box. It looks like complexity and cost is the number one, although we see all of the polling questions capturing at least 30% of the attention. So let's talk about all four of these, Cam and Gautam, if you can. Try to address each of them through the next 20 minutes, and we'll look out for the questions that come with it. So I'm going to turn it over to you, Cam. Talk a little bit about the partnership, what we've done recently. Then we'll go to Gautam to talk about the Citrix specifics, and then we'll go back to the overall solution as it is. So over to you, Cam.
Awesome. Thanks, Mike, and good morning, good afternoon, everybody. Thanks again for taking the time. Yeah, look, I think the keys there are some of the results there are not just, the complexity and the cost, but also the time to market, speed to value. And I think the whole COVID thing has been a real instigator on that, to be able to deploy services out to different areas to get our working environment up and running for our students, our staff, or our colleagues, whoever it may be, so they can continue working. And I think, the relationship between us and Citrix has never been stronger, and I'm super excited to come and do a session like this with Gautam because, we started off in this business delivering VDI. That was our first workload that we delivered with our good friends at Citrix, and we've done a phenomenal job from there to continue that momentum of delivering some of the best possible solutions out to some of our biggest customers with Citrix on a platform that is very similar to Citrix, where it's not really just what it used to be, right? Nutanix really isn't just HCI. It's a lot more than that. And Citrix really isn't just desktops anymore. And Gautam's going to come back and tell us a little bit about that in a second. But really the two together, the marriage really does make a lot of sense right now. Obviously, we have integration around things like MCS and provisioning and all that kind of stuff, which is just stock standard expected behavior now between such large vendors. And we'll show you a little bit of that later today about actually deploying and that agility of moving, or running desktops on premise, as well as spinning up, 2,000 desktops in the public cloud on AWS. And we'll actually show you a demo of walking through that in 10 minutes. But the key here really is using the right technology on the right platform to deliver the best of breed services. And that platform from a Nutanix point of view isn't just HCI. Maybe it's files to deliver file services into a desktop environment. Maybe it's Flow to start looking at how we introduce security, and then the security extents from Citrix carry that even further up the stack as well, right? It's driving the really good linear performance to deliver those desktops in a great environment. So we'll talk a little bit about this hybrid cloud, but I'm going to hand over to Gautam just for a second and get him to sort of talk us through the Citrix stack and why it's not just desktops anymore, mate. And, the bit that I find really interesting is the stuff on the right-hand side of the screen, right? It's not just a data center anymore either, is it?
It isn't. It isn't. So as you clearly said, and everyone thinks of Citrix as just being a VDI provider. And even when I joined Citrix, that's what my notion was as well, that we just do VDI and Citrix is just a VDI company. But when I joined in, I got all that information downloaded onto me, and then I knew that no, it's just not VDI. It's a lot of things. It's the total application layer on top. So if you see here, the key element is still the VDI. We have enhanced that to make it more of a workspace, intelligent workspace platform. So Citrix Workspace gives people all the work resources they need to be productive, whether it's a virtual desktop, desktop as a service, or even accessing those software as a service or web applications from any type of devices. So if you see at the left-hand side, it's people, devices, and locations. That means any person, any type of user, could be a power user, could be a user just accessing one application at some point of time. And it could be a power user accessing thousands of applications on a daily basis. It could be, right? So any type of user accessing it from any type of device and sitting at any location. And the most interesting thing which has excited you is the right-hand side of this, which is anywhere, or any type of consumption model. So the foundation underpinning our infrastructure is our app delivery portfolio, which ensures that employees' applications are just not accessible from any device or any network, but they are performing at their best, no matter where they're delivered from, the data center, the cloud, no matter where they're delivered to the office, branch, home, or anywhere that work needs to be completed from. Now, you would also see Edge mentioned there as explicit or implicit it could be. That is because Edge is evolving, and there's a lot of people or a lot of companies like telcos, gaming companies spending a lot of money on these edges, and the edges become bigger and bigger. It started with one node or a smaller devices. Now it has become bigger and bigger because they want to deliver better experience for their users. They want to get those services near to those users, and that's why we can deliver these services with help of partners like Nutanix at any place. No matter where the users are. We also have work solutions that simplify the way people work and collaborate by providing the intelligent capabilities like machine learning and simplified workflows, plus collaboration tools like sharing, file sharing, e-signature, collaborative work management. And last but not least, the biggest challenge that everyone has in terms of the security is the biggest concern for any hybrid multi-cloud or any cloud environment as such. So Citrix Workspace is surrounded by and embraces our zero trust security model. When we talk about security, everyone says, oh, you are a VDI company, why are you talking about security? Well, everything is delivered to the user, and for the users to access it from any location, you would need that to be secure. And Citrix Workspace provides that to you. So we not only authenticate user access into the workspace, but we also protect apps and APIs while constantly monitoring user network and application behavior. So with our partnership with Nutanix, we unlock the possibility of 2 hybrid and multi-cloud use cases. It starts with the Citrix Cloud as a management plane for the Citrix Virtual Apps and Desktop Service, Citrix Gateway Service, Insights with Citrix Analytics, and other services. We all deliver to any location in the world. So Nutanix provides that underlying hosting and orchestration fabrics for the workloads, whether on-premises with your Acropolis hypervisor or in public cloud like Azure or AWS or any other cloud for that matter. The flexibility to shift workloads among public and private clouds, coupled with linear scalability, gives customers the predictability and confidence they need to succeed in the highly unpredictable economic climate. And this makes it seamless for users to transition from one place to another. And because of this, we have expanded our partnership even more. And with the recent announcements, we are the preferred partner for Nutanix for any of these desktop as a service or workspace platform transformation. And Nutanix is our hyperconverged or I would say the multi-cloud infrastructure deployments. Over to you.
Yeah, I think that thanks, mate. I think that puts it perfectly. Like, we've got a single enterprise operating system that runs across multiple environments here. You know, you guys are running your environment across data center, clouds, branch, edge, and so on. We're delivering the platform that can sustain that as well. And
Yes.
that's the key, right? I mean, I
Yes.
think this was a big, it's super interesting with the whole COVID side of things. I mean, it's a horrible situation for everybody to go through. It's absolutely terrible, but it's been interesting, the result it's had being, you know, when I've looked at the hiring of people, we've been able to tap into different resources out of big cities and things like that, where
Yes.
there's interesting workforce that can be pulled and utilized because of solutions like this, right? And when you're
Absolutely.
starting to use that and reach out to environments that perhaps don't have the best internet infrastructure or whatever it may be, you need platforms to deliver a highly, you know, engaging, low bandwidth desktop, but also highly secure. And I think security is the key there, because it's the easy one to forget and it's the most dangerous one to forget as well. So, you know, one piece of software with Citrix that allows them to span that and control that entire stack. So really, really exciting. Okay, so without just taking up too much more time, I'm going to sort of walk you through a little bit and then jump into a demo in just a second around exactly that deployment. I mean, like I said, infrastructure cost and complexity is one of the big problems that we've always had from, you know, the year of the VDI. And I think we have been in the couple of years of VDI, and I think we'll continue that, considering we're going to be jumping in and out of dispersed workforces in offices and outside of offices, and just, you know, the whole culture of where you're working has changed now. So how do we provision that, and how do we plan for that? What's the cost profile look like for that? How do we make the right decisions at the right time? And that's hard if you're not agile and you don't have a platform that allows you to drive that agility. And that's not just from a cost point of view, it's also from a how do I stand up and deliver those services in a quick, timely manner. And these things can be easily solved using Citrix and Nutanix. As an example, I can run Nutanix, and we'll stick with just desktops for now. I can run Nutanix on-premise and deliver desktops. I can now run Nutanix in AWS and Azure to deliver desktops on as well. And I can use control planes from Citrix that could be on-premise or in the public cloud. And this really is all about how we drive that agility back into the business. And what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to walk you through a little bit of a demo that we've built and run. It is compressed because it is really about 2 hours worth of work shortened down to 10 minutes now. But this is going to take you through spinning up and addressing two of the key interesting comments that you guys have come back with, the challenges of how to drive agility, how to reduce cost, but deliver services that are going to be better by being on the right platform at the right time at the right cost. So what are we looking at here? We're looking at a private data center, sitting in a data center. This one's sitting in the US, and we've got a bunch of desktops running on that data center. Okay, and we've just logged into one of those desktops. But perhaps something has happened. I've got my existing infrastructure on-premise. Perhaps we have to work from home very, very quickly. Perhaps there's been a natural disaster, whatever it may be. I, as a business, need to deliver 2,000 desktops to my employees that are now working remotely. How am I going to do that? What I'm going to do is I'm going to use Nutanix clusters on AWS, and I'm going to spin up 16 nodes inside AWS, running Nutanix on bare metal to deliver those 2,000 desktops. Now, I don't need to start with 16 nodes. I may just start with 3 nodes, right? But I can scale when I want, how I want. And using the agility of not having to deliver hardware on-premise by using AWS, we can deliver that in an agile manner. So what we've done there is we've just configured Nutanix clusters on AWS, okay? And that's the beginning part. So under 3 minutes, I'm now deploying 16 nodes across AWS, and it's going to take roughly 40 minutes. We use our hypervisor, AHV, which is a completely complementary, full-featured hypervisor running inside AWS, so there's no cost at that layer, okay? Now, obviously, Citrix is highly configured with AHV and full support on side. That has been for some time now, which has been awesome. And just under 40 minutes, we've deployed those 16 nodes in AWS. That's ridiculous, right? Now, for the customers that are used to running Nutanix, it's exactly the same process logging into clusters on AWS or Azure. You can see here we're logging into Prism on one of those 16 nodes. We accept the EULA, which is just stock standard. Pulse will dial home and help you with all of your support calls and things like that. But you can see it's exactly the same operating system. And that's the beauty of it. We're using the same operating system on-premise as we are up in the public cloud in AWS, as we can be running on the edge. And it makes it a seamless environment to be able to move workloads around. Most excitingly, it becomes a really easy way to scale out desktops across multiple clouds, because it's exactly the same interface and skill set that I'm used to using when I'm deploying on-premise. So you've seen us just go through and create some network configurations there. And now what we're going to do is log in to our storage and deploy a container so we can spin up these desktops on that container. Now, we could obviously use files as well. And with clusters on AWS, you can use the backend services from AWS. So whatever native services you wanted to use from AWS, you could also use from there. Now, once we have that storage container up and running, then we're going to be able to start replicating that image across and get that image standing up to be able to deliver those desktop services. So if you've done this before, it's exactly the same thing as just replicating from on-premise over to a DR site, but we're using clusters on AWS as that DR site. Now, Gotham, obviously we're using the Citrix provisioning tools and control plane on-premise, but this is a perfect example of why we could use it in a cloud as well, right? Or Citrix cloud.
Absolutely, absolutely. And one of the other poll result was around complexity. And the biggest challenge for any customer is to move from on-premises to cloud is that complexity. When you have a different platform or a disparate, I would say, type of infrastructure where you can't move any of those applications without, or desktops without doing any reformatting or I would say replatforming the infrastructure, which is seamless. If you're on Nutanix, it's just seamless. You have the same infrastructure available on public cloud. Just move it seamlessly with one single click. You don't even have to do any changes to your infrastructure at all, which brings down the complexity a lot. It's actually minuscule, I would say.
Yeah, and I mean that's the exciting thing, and that's what both of us have always been about, right? Well, you and I, but also the companies we work for, delivering these platforms in a really seamless, easy way, right? What we used to always call making things invisible, making a data center invisible, and making all the tough configuration underneath the covers, invisible, so that we don't need to worry about it. Okay, cool. So what we've done now is we've kind of through that process of replicating that image over. So we've configured both sides to see each other. And now we're going to set that replication to go. Now, obviously, you could set multiple copies of this golden image, and that's what we're replicating over, the golden image to be able to, or the master image to be able to, old school, master image to be able to build out these desktops. We can have several copies sitting on production, and then we can obviously send and keep multiple snapshots inside the cluster that's sitting inside AWS. So you can see that sitting there. Just after a minute, that will be replicated over. But you can see we're now 46 minutes into this whole process, and already we're into that replicating of that master image as we go. So dropping into Citrix Studio here, we're just going to very quickly build out the connection, obviously over to AHV sitting inside AWS. Now, like I said, we do use AHV inside our clusters on AWS, but you could be running VMware on-premise in your data center as well. There's no issue with that because we do cross-hypervisor replication, so there's no real issue with any of that stuff. But we are going to go and create that connection through to those clusters on AWS and just quickly go through and do some network configuration as well while that replication is going on for that master image. Okay, Once that's done, we should be up and running from a replication point. You can see there that the connection is away. We'll just go through and make some final changes there. And once that image is replicated over, then we'll quickly take a snapshot of it so that we can then use that snapshot to build out that set of desktops. So we're sitting just under the hour now. You should see we're on the AWS cluster. You can tell by that by the tab at the top of Chrome here, and you'll see that the image is now replicated over, and we're going to go and snap or clone that image, which is a seamless process because, of course, we do everything at the metadata layer. So, you know, I mean, I still kind of get blown away by the fact that we've stood up 16 nodes inside AWS from 0 to full deployment of a cluster with a hypervisor. We've replicated over a master image. We're cloning that image, and we're about to go and deploy 2,000 desktops, and we're still under an hour at the moment. This really is driving that agility, driving that down that complexity, and allowing us to choose what's the best return of our investment at the right time. Is it by spinning up these desktops in the cloud without having to retool, refactor, relearn how to do this? Or is it better to do it on premise right at this moment? Or maybe I don't have the infrastructure on premise and I just need to run it for a short period of time. All of these decisions can be made on the fly now. And that's what's so exciting about the tool sets that we're showing you through today. So we're just going through the catalog setup here, picking the operating system. I mean, anybody that's used Citrix, which is a lot of you on the call today, you know exactly what you're looking at. We're picking the container out to run that image. And here we are going to go and deploy those 2,000 machines. It is inside the public cloud, so we are going to just knock back the memory a little bit to keep the cost profile down and the core count. And then, you know, we're going to go and click away we go. And before you know it, you will have those 2,000 desktops starting to be provisioned. And look, we're still under that hour as we stand today. So once this is up, you'll see that that is basically spinning up those 2,000 desktops. We'll go and finish the summary and you'll see them deploying out in just a second. And before you know it, we'll be logging into those machines. You'll see that I think there was a couple that did fail on this process, so we can go back and remediate that. We'll go and create the delivery group to deploy those 1,996 desktops. And obviously those 4 we can go back and clean up. Now, you know, this delivery services, you know, it's very clean and quick for a demo here. Obviously you can spend your time to configure that as required inside your own environment. But away we go, and we're sitting at the 1 minute and 40 mark. And I have a funny feeling we'll do this in an hour and 45, going from a bunch of desktops on premise over to 2,000 or 1,996 running inside AWS. Okay, so the delivery group's set. We'll just go through and clean up some of the power management settings, which is obviously best practice there, so it doesn't cost us a fortune over the weekend and so on. And then we'll come back and refresh that. And before we now go and spend all of our time talking about geishas and tea, we have spun up all these desktops so we can go and enjoy our weekends, and we can go and spend more time doing what's, you know, important by driving innovation through in the business, or perhaps going and remediating whatever's happened and driven us to the point of having to spin up all these desktops. Okay. So you can see there we've got those 2,000 desktops spun up, delivered. There's my AWS desktop, and we're going to go and spin up that AWS desktop. And there we are, Mike, under the hour and 45 minutes, and we spun up just on 2,000 desktops. I think that really does speak to the power of both our solutions coming together, driving a true hybrid cloud, driving a true agile platform to deliver some of the best of breed services, not just desktops, but also from Citrix analytics, security, really delivering that endpoint to drive our businesses forward. With that, guys, I'm going to hand that back over to Mike. And Mike, you can take us through to our next exciting.
Yep, that's awesome. And I think
Right.
I think you hit it really between you and Gotham, between the agility and the choice, and obviously the security that comes with all of this. Hopefully that opened everyone's eyes to say, oh, there are options here that we haven't explored before and we want to explore now. So thanks for that, Cam. Okay, what we have promised is we're going to ask some questions. So Cam, get one ready. I'm going to ask one from Gotham. Gotham, I'll do it on your behalf. Gotham wants to ask you all, and put your answer in chat. Which user interface is a single console for all the applications and desktop access from Citrix? Put that answer in the chat right now. First one in there gets $50 card. Go.
Can I answer?
Wow.
So hopefully you guys, there's one in there. Prism, nope. Good answer. Prism, nope. This is from the Citrix side. Storefront, nope. Prism, nope. Keep going.
Come on, guys. It's so
Come on,
easy.
guys. It's a Citrix. MCS, nope. Oh yeah, wait, what is it? You're using no, I'll give you a symbol. It's something with W and S. Okay, so keep going on that one. Cam, you got a question you want to answer quickly? Ask quickly.
Yeah, I'm going to go for a real easy one because everybody knows my questions are easy, and it's not going to be our cryptocurrency, although we're not talking about cryptocurrency right now. Okay, so what's the tool set? Oh, you got it. Citrix Workstation. Well done. Workspace. Sorry, Workspace. Citrix Workspace. Well done. Congratulations. I don't know who came in first for that, but we can go back and look at that. All right, from the Nutanix side, what's the tool set that allows us to go and spin up Nutanix operating system inside AWS? What is the name of the tool that allows us to do that? It's Nutanix what on AWS? Nutanix what on AWS? Come on, it's not Prism. We do it inside of Prism.
Not Prism. Not Prism.
Nutanix what on AWS? Oh, there's lots of people that know about our tool sets though. This is good. Come on, it's quite easy. It's what we do when we first build a Nutanix.
Okay.
It takes 3 or more nodes to build a Nutanix. Well done.
Instant on Nutanix Foundation. Right. Okay, keep going, guys. We're going to look for the right answer there. And then the last question, then we're going to hand it over to Ken. The last question, and this is prompted by Jeff Sanford, one of our good friends out there, because we always talk about cryptocurrency. And given that we're going to Kyoto now, who was the founder or proposed founder of Bitcoin? Japanese name. Go for it. First one in there gets another $50 gift card. And with that, there it is. I got one. Vince and Anthony, well done. Okay, let's go over. We're a little bit late and a little behind. So Ken, I apologize, but to everyone out there, Ken Sugata is out in Kyoto now. He's our tour guide. Over to you, Ken. Take it away.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for having me. Can you hear me okay? Can you see me okay? I hope so.
Yep.
So my name is Ken, K-E-N-K. My actual name is Kentaro Sakata, but it's too long, so just call me Ken, from Kyoto, Japan. Welcome to Kyoto. I'm a professional guide in Kyoto who's operated Ken's Tours Kyoto local tour agent since 2016. Before COVID, in-person tours a lot late, and then so I was guiding like few hundred people every month, but today, due to COVID, everything stopped. And then what I do now is virtual tour. You know what I'm doing right now? Yes, virtual tour of Kyoto. So fortunately, I have already guided over 1,000 in this year, and then everyone says, you know, what is the difference between YouTube and this virtual tour? But maybe now you're feeling actually it's totally different. You are here, I'm here at the same time, actually. So I can easily take more people inside, I can show you more hidden and then inside part, deep part of culture. So later also connects to the Leo. This is virtual tour. And then what is the most impressive is actually virtual tour is no limitation. Very large number of people from many different countries can join like today. Yes. So even if the person who loves traveling is on the hospital bed, even if they're physically handicapped, even if too busy to take days off, maybe So it's possible you can join virtually. So that is virtual tour. And then, so today we can just walk around Kyoto City. And then also like before starting the tour, let me talking about my English actually. My English is not perfect coming from the, not school, from the street. Means actually I learned my English in United States, but not in the proper way. I learned on the street by hitchhiking. You know, hitchhike? Thumbs up, give me a ride on the street. I did hitchhike from the East Coast, the West Coast of United States. So the way crossing the United States, and then I was picked up by over 300 people. They taught me English. That's how I learned my English. That's why my English today is not perfect. So please feel free to say, hey, Ken, what did you say? Anytime in the chat box, please, today. All right. So then I don't want to just talk. So I want to just show where we are right now, or like you can see a little bit behind. Actually, we are today right now in Kyoto. Welcome to Kyoto again. And it's a cultural center of Japan, as it was the capital for over 1,100 years until 1868. So where many aspects of traditional Japanese culture began to flourish, such as religion, art, literature, and tea ceremonies, and geisha. So today, over the 30 minutes, we will take you on virtual tour through two culturally fascinating parts of Kyoto. So at first, Wazuka Tea Farm. I'm gonna just switch over the camera and then showing you where we are right now. So are you guys ready?
Ready.
I'm gonna show where we are right now. Just a moment. Okay, here we are right now. So first, this is Wazuka Tea Farm, where you are right now. Is located in the south end of Kyoto, 1 hour drive away from the center. And a second, so later we will walk through Gion, the old geisha district in the center. And then Wazuka Tea Farm in the south end of Kyoto is considered, this view considered as one of the most beautiful villages in all of Japan. So these tea farms have over 800 years of history producing Japanese green tea. Let's start walking around. I don't want to just showing that one view, but did you take picture? So please take picture of it. This is the most photographed view in this town. So anyway, we're gonna just start. Okay, so we're gonna just go this way. Then we're gonna just get in the tea farms. So a little bit talking about the history, these tea farms have over 800 years of history producing Japanese green tea. Some of the finest green tea in the world called Uji green tea is produced on these farms. Visitors here come for guided tours and tea picking, tea ceremony, and also cooking classes. Actually, here in this town, people eat green tea. Yeah, it's interesting, right? Can you guys guess how they cook the green tea leaves? Please write down in the chat box. Okay, I'm gonna just wait. So do you guys guess how they cook the green tea leaves? There are many different ways. First, tea leaves boiled down in soy sauce. And also tea leaves mixed in soba noodle. Also tempura, fried tea leaves, something like that. Okay, so yeah, that's how they eat tea leaves. Now, okay, let's get back to the history of this town. The beginning of this town producing green tea was 800 years ago. The beginning was a monk in the temple of this town. One day, the monk had an opportunity to see another famous monk called Myo-e, who is well known as the founder of Japanese tea culture. He somehow happened to give the seed of the tea leaves to the monk in this town. And then, in the past, the seeds of the plants were very important, like top secret, and not too easy to give that. But, he got the tea seed. And then so the way he started, actually the monk started like farming tea, green tea leaves here. But in the first 400 years, it was more for himself, just for his family and his town here. Okay, so and then the way like he started farming tea, but actually, so first 400 years, it was just for himself. But after that, in the early Edo period, the second 400 years, the town property was given to the imperial palace. Means actually, so the town property belonged to the emperor. And so the Wazuka town started giving tea leaves as tax to the imperial palace. And the green tea became famous as a tea imperial family preferred to drink. So that's why, so today Wazuka is well known for producing great sencha green tea, which is most commonly drunk in Japan. You can imagine like after eating sushi, at the end, so they have green tea, right? So that is sencha green tea. They actually make that kind of green tea. Yeah, and the green tea has a lot of kinds like sencha and a bancha and a hojicha and a matcha. Maybe you know it's really bitter. And also gyokuro is the most luxury and expensive in Japan, like Louis Vuitton of green tea. And then now I would like to give you a quiz. Here's a quiz for the fastest person who can answer this correctly. So I will announce the correct answer and the winners later. So at the end of the tour. So okay, everyone. So I'm gonna just give you the quiz, listen carefully. How much do you think is the most expensive green tea per ounce in Japan? Maybe you can answer in US dollars, maybe. Yeah. How much do you think is the most expensive green tea per ounce in Japan? So please write it down in the chat box. Okay. And also I would like to explain what is the difference between green tea and black tea. So green tea is not fermented tea leaves. And then green fresh tea leaves get steamed and dried. Black tea is fermented. That is the difference. And then why Wazuka town, this place is so great for green tea? It is because this place is surrounded by mountains and has the huge gap of the temperatures between daytime and nighttime. The gap makes great green tea, actually, the cold and hot, daytime and nighttime. Also, like, you know, there is a Wazuka river in the middle of this town. That made it easy to get tea leaves transported by water. Then you can see that closely. All right, this is tea leaves. Actually, so these were transported by water. Actually, they're on the river. Also, like, you know, by foot. In the other period, there was actually that green tea load to transport tea leaves to the central of Kyoto, like Silk Road in China, you know, maybe. So there was a green tea load in Kyoto before. Okay. Just a moment, please. Actually, so these tea leaves actually get transported into the center of Kyoto, which connects to Gion district, its history. Let's actually switch over the live stream to the center of Kyoto, Gion. Just a moment, actually some trouble is going on. So now maybe, so there is we can just switch over the camera into Guillaume. Okay, there is the camera of Guillaume, the video of Guillaume here. Can you switch it? Okay. Okay, just one, please.
How much was the tea?
What's in the red barn? That's what I have.
All the crypto miners.
All the crypto miners, that's right. run by tea. Oxidation creates energy. Energy creates crypto.
Okay,
and green
so
tea for better health.
Fred, could you like pick up the person whose name is Kazu, actually? Kazu. And he's actually showing the Gion district, please. So switch the camera over to the person, please. Can you find it?
Ken, say it again. You need to change over.
Kazu, Kazu.
Felicia?
Yep, no, I think we've just brought him in as a panelist, so I think we'll be able to flip over in just a second.
Okay. There he is. Okay.
There we go.
Yep.
Okay.
This is just making me want to start traveling again. I'm not so sure about sitting on a plane for that long, but I really want to start traveling again looking at this.
Okay, just a moment, like he's taking time like to switch the camera.
There
Yep.
he is.
There he is.
Okay, sorry guys, keep you wait. So because
And we just switched.
Thanks, Ken.
Beautiful. Thanks, Ken. Over to
okay.
you, Kazu.
ですか? Okay.
Switch it over.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
So, okay, from now on, we're gonna just work on Gion district. Then Gion, maybe like you guys have heard of the name, is very famous old district, which is Geisha district. Actually, maybe you have heard of the name Geisha before. Actually, so, okay, we're now in the center of Kyoto Gion district. So here, many old style buildings called machi have been preserved here, and well known as geisha traditional Japanese female artists live and perform here. Today, here is a special guest, Fuku Yuri, apprentice geisha. We're gonna just get close to her. Okay, let's get close to her. Alright, 福ゆりさん、こんにちは。こんにちは。聞こえますか？ケンです。今日は海外向けのライブツアーにご出演いただいてます。軽くお話ししながら歩いていきます。まず自己紹介お願いしてもよろしいでしょうか？ She's gonna introduce herself.
宮川町の福ゆりです。岡野申します。
Okay, her name is Fuku Yuri. She is an apprentice geisha and has been in training to become professional over 4 years. 何年ぐらいトレーニングされてるんでしたっけ今、修行中でしたっけ
はい、4年目になります。
Okay, 4 years in training. And first of all, like, what is geisha? As I said, geisha, Japanese traditional female artists who dance, sing songs, play musical instruments. Their history is over 400 years. The history started from a tea house in the old days. Technically, geisha is an English name, and in Kyoto, they are called geiko or maiko. Geiko means professional, and maiko means apprentice, still in training. She's an apprentice maiko now, like in training for 4 years. では、福入さん、早速ですね、街並みをちょっと見て回りましょう。お話もちょっと聞かせてください。よろしくお願いします。Okay. So, at first, I'm gonna just, talking about the history, how geisha culture started in Kyoto. The beginning is in the early 17th century, 400 years ago. So there were a lot of tea houses here in the central of Kyoto, like Starbucks coffee. Like where travelers came to drink a cup of green tea. And then there were many waitresses worked and served green tea there at tea houses. So the green tea, of course, came from Wazuka Tea Farm through Green Tea Road here. And at the beginning, so the waitresses just served and poured green tea. But at some point, they started dancing and singing since customer wished. So the waitress started dancing, performing in order to entertain travelers more. So then also playing musical instruments at the storefront to attract and get more customers to tea houses. So then tea houses around were getting more performing theaters with tea and sake. The ladies who specialize in just performing even showed up. That was called geisha or geiko. Gei of geiko literally means performing art. And then geiko means literally art performing person. She's art performing person, yes. Okay. And then that is the kind of history of geisha culture. So now like you can see loads of the buildings around in the low, traditional buildings around. So these are all theaters for geisha. Means actually where the geisha dance and sing. But these like theaters still now called tea house, named after the beginning of the history because you still have tea. That's why. So, but now like you're gonna see the theater, the performance, but you never drink tea inside, just sake only. So then from now on, we're gonna maybe interview her a little bit and then talking with her, and then we can just still keep walking. Okay. So please like write down like your questions too. I'm gonna pick up 1 or 2 questions. So, okay. So I'm gonna ask the question. If you have any questions, please ask her, write down the question in the box. Okay, first I'm gonna just do the question actually. So first question, how long have you been a geisha? 福利さん、何年前くらいから修行を始めたんですか？ちなみにどれくらいの期間を経て芸妓さんになるんでしょうか
？15の時に京都に寄せてもらって、そこから修行させてもらってたので、4年前から修行させてもらってます。
Okay, she's now 19 years old. And then 4 years ago, at 15 years old, she started training. And to become professional, it's gonna take 6 years in total. That's why 2 years more to become professional.
6 years. Ken,
Okay.
another question is,
And
what
then-
is she holding?
Holding it.
In
Okay.
her arm. Yeah.
So, 福入さん、今持っているものあるじゃないですか。その箱の中に何が入っているんですか？ I'm asking now.
中には、お化粧道具やったりとか、あとは舞の時に使うお扇子とか手ぬぐいが入ってます、その中に。
Okay, so inside there is like some makeup tools, like makeup things, and also some like performance items like paper fans or something like that inside. Okay, so another question, if you don't have, I'm gonna keep asking my prepared questions. Okay, what do geishas do for fun, recreation? そう、福利さん、お仕事のない日はどんな風に過ごされますか？楽しみなこととかあれば教えてください。
そうですね、うちは観劇が好きなので、映画も見に行くんですけど、ミュージカルとか舞台をお休みの日は一人でも見に行ってました。
Okay, so she like watching the performance. That's why she's gonna go to kabuki theater. She's gonna watch the musical too, or something like that. Okay, so literally talking about her hair. So 福井さんちょっと髪の毛ちょっと見せてもらってもいいですか？
前持っていいですか？
Okay, so kaminoke. So this is like a her hairstyle. So her hairstyle is really like big, right? So this is made by real hair. And then what's so interesting is actually she have to keep this hairstyle for a week, 1 week in a row. You know, even like when she's sleeping, she cannot take it off actually. So then 1 week later, she's gonna just take it off, and then she's gonna just set it up again. So that's why. So that is the most like difficult time for her because she cannot take it off when she's sleeping. So she has to like use really high and stiff pillow every night, and then so she cannot sleep very well. That happens. Yeah. Even like when she has this hairstyle, she cannot go out with Western clothing. She have to wear always Japanese clothing, and then usually if she has this hairstyle, she cannot go to like convenience store. She cannot go to McDonald's. That's why when she's saying like when she take off the hairstyle, she's gonna go to McDonald's actually. So because he usually cannot go. Okay, like 福内さんありがとうございます。And then 最後にちょっと質問なんですけど、コロナになってお仕事はどんな風に変わりましたか？オンラインでのお仕事増えましたか？ I'm asking a last question. How did your work change during COVID in 2020 virtual meeting or not? Yeah. お仕事がどんな風に変わりましたかね？コロナになって。オンラインでの仕事が増えたりしましたか？
そうですね。やっぱりなかなか頑固な方もしてもらえへんことが多くなったので、こういうリモートやったりとか、あんまり多くはないんですけど、今まではこういうことは絶対なかったんですけど、少しずつ増えてきてますね。
OK です。例えばバーチャルで東京にいる演奏家さんとコラボレーションしたりとかもするんですか？
それはまだお遍路ですけど、こちらの踊りの舞台やらをリモートで配信やったりとか、そういうのが増えてきて。
なるほど。Okay, like her job is totally changing during the COVID because actually, for example, like remote meeting more, or I could say more. Oh, she's stopping. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah, we can hear you, Ken.
All right. Okay. So yeah, remote working is like a lot increasing, and then the event is more virtual, but never happened before though. And also now, like her performance concert is going to happen virtually too. Yes. Okay. If you have any questions, else people, if you have.
When does she expect the leaves to start changing color?
Okay, so we're gonna ask. So 福利さん、京都ではいつ頃紅葉が始まるんですかね？
京都毎年ちょっとずつ遅くなってて、ほんまやったら11月の中頃やなんですけど、最近はもう12月初めぐらいが一番綺麗なことが多い。
Okay, so today actually every year changing the time to see their autumn leaves in every year getting late, but now actually the end of the November we can see the great autumn leaves around. She's saying. Okay, so maybe that was the last question, and then so we have to say thank you to Fukuyuri-san, the apprentice geisha. Oh, do they wear the same outfit in the all season? Fukuyuri-san, その着物はずっと着続けるんですか？それとも変わるんですか？
そうですね。1ヶ月間は同じお衣装を着させるんですけど、毎年生活始めた時新しい衣装とかんざしを用意してもらって揃えさせてもらってます。
Okay, she is gonna just wear this gorgeous outfit only for the performance, and then once a month this is gonna change actually. So, but then both once a month also there are different accessories too, and she's wearing actually high shoes actually, and also 福利さん、ちょっと回ってもらってもいいですか？くるっと。Yeah, she's wearing the huge belt, which is called Darari Obi. Yeah, this is beautiful a lot, right? Okay. So anyway, so we have to end the tour. So we have to say thank you to her. I want to just teach you guys how to say thank you in Kyoto. In Kyoto, we say okini to say thank you. Okay. So I'm going to say okini. ありがとうございました。okini.
Kini.
Okini. Okay. Thank you. Alright. それじゃあ、福百合さん、じゃあそのまま橋を渡ってはけてくれたらと思います。Okay, we can just wave your hands, you know, say okini.
Okini, okini. That's beautiful. What a beautiful bridge.
Yeah, this is also beautiful. River here.
Wonderful.
Okay. Oh, you guys know that? Actually, her outfit is gonna cost 20 to 30,000 US dollars for whole set. You know, that much gorgeous, expensive outfit, kimono. That's why only for performances.
Wow.
So in the common day, so more like daily life, they're gonna just use more casual kimono. Eh? Okay, bye-bye. Okini.
Okini.
Okay, じゃあカズさんありがとうございます。Bye bye.
Okay, pin to Ken. Ken, do you have the winners now from our questions? And would you like
Okay,
to
I'm
announce
gonna just announce the answer, the correct answer of the quiz. How much is the most expensive green tea in Japan? And also the winners. Actually, the correct answer is 650 US dollar per ounce. Oh, I didn't say like how much tea leaves, you know, per ounce. This is, you know, the tea leaves for 1 ounce. See that? So this is the cheapest one, just
That looks-
100 Japanese yen, $1 for per ounce, you know, but most expensive 650. And the winner is Sachin Karmachara. Sorry, I'm not sure I'm pronouncing very well. Or also Vincent Anthony Diaz, and then Badul Ayman. Okay, sorry for that. So
Okay,
I'm not
no
sure
problem. Okay, so here, actually, what we have there, those are the winners for the 3 questions. We actually asked 4 questions total, and the 3 winners, no one got question number 2. So those are the 3 winners. We'll send that to you guys in chat, and then we'll get in touch with you guys after the show. We have your email, and we'll get in touch with you. So, want me to say it one more time? Sachin Karmachara.
Yeah, Sachin.
Karmachara.
Yeah, Kamachara.
Vincent
And
Diaz
Vincent Anthony.
and Mohammed Badrul Amin. Yep. Good job, guys. You guys got the 3 questions right. Well done. Well done. Okay, Ken, any last words from you?
Yeah, thank you so much for coming today. And then sorry for some trouble connecting to Guillaume district, but your success to connect to Guillaume, and we sell the district and then Geisha. Usually you cannot see her. So you need to be like special access. So anyway.
Wonderful.
So I hope like I could do like best virtual tour today. Okay, nice.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ken. It was a wonderful tour. Now we feel like we've been to Kyoto for everyone. It's so fantastic. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Okini.
Okini.
Okini. Thank you, Ken. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Okini.
Okay, everybody. So we appreciate, we know we went a little bit over, about 6 minutes over now, but we do want to say thank you to everyone that attended today. We hope you had a really fun time seeing different parts of the world, in this case, Kyoto, and that you learned something from that trip as well. As importantly, we hope you learned from Cam. And Cam, the demo that you went through, that was fantastic. It really gives people a flavor of the power of the technology. Any words or any recommendations for next steps for the people out there now?
Yeah, hey, look, I mean, all of the stuff you saw today with Citrix, without Citrix, with clusters on AWS, all of it's available on test drive, on our website. log in there. Citrix have labs as well. So jump in there, have a play with test drive, spin this stuff up yourself. Seeing is believing, right? And geez, Mike, I miss travel. Man, I miss travel. I want to go. And I think we need to somehow get into the tea business. Because what was it, $650 per ounce? We need to try and figure out how to
per
get
ounce.
into the tea business.
That's tea money. That's ridiculous.
Well, I know, but thank you everybody for taking your time, and thank you Ken and all the rest of the guests and enjoying the session with us. I really appreciate it. Do jump on test drive, have a play with this stuff yourself. Reach out to me. You know my email address, camogleby@nutanix.com, anytime you want. Thanks, guys.
Exactly. Thanks, everybody. Have a good rest of the day, and we look forward to seeing you. Look out for an email coming tomorrow. That'll give you all the details from here, the presentation slides, and also links to the test drive that Cam just referred to. And let's take a next step. Reach out to us. We'd love to talk to you and let's grow our businesses together. So have a wonderful day. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.